Indiana Senate Bill 1, passed last spring, has major effects on the current and future Crown Point schools' budget. Hi, I'm Ari with CPTV News. We're going to tell you about that. Plus, the boys basketball team look to continue their undefeated season against DAC rival Chesterton at home on Friday. Here's what's up in news. The Crown Point Community School Corporation passed a referendum last May, renewing the existing operating levy which funds the day-to-day operating expenses of the CPCSC. However, Indiana Senate Bill 1, passed at roughly the same time as the referendum, reduces assessed property values, ultimately decreasing income previously budgeted from the referendum and causing a loss of slightly more than $2 million per year of referendum funds until 2031. Since 86% of CPCSC's expenses are spent on salaries and benefits for staff, even with cuts in supplies and technology, CPCSC must reduce staff. At CPHS, study hall paraprofessionals were replaced at the start of the semester with core teachers to oversee crowded study halls. We spoke with CP Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Todd Terrell, regarding concerns over future changes to CP schools programming. Another referendum is being considered for this fall as corporation studies continue to assess the impact of Senate Bill 1. Reductions for the 2026-2027 school year are at this time not yet determined. You can learn more about the effects of Senate Bill 1 on CP schools by scanning this QR code, which will take you to the budget information page of the CPCSC website. Numerous students in Crown Point say they're feeling uneasy after rumors spread online about immigration and customs enforcement possibly coming to Northwest Indiana. Social media posts and group chats have sparked fear and confusion, even as local leaders stress there's no confirmed ICE activity in Crown Point. Last fall, a large-scale enforcement action referred to as Operation Midway Blitz targeted undocumented immigrants on highways, causing unrest in the community as over 223 immigrants were arrested across NWI highways. Concerns continue as neighboring Maryville's town council recently voted against a proposed ICE detention center planned near South Lake Mall, even though they have no jurisdiction over federal decision-making. For many students and families across Lake County, the conversation has become less about politics and more about feeling safe in their own community. In short, yes, lots to look forward to weather-wise, but let's start with today. We're headed for a high of 62 degrees with partly cloudy skies, winds coming out of the north and northeast at about 10 miles per hour, and no real threat of rain in today's forecast. As we take a look at the 5-day forecast, it's more of the same, but with even higher temps. Sunny on Saturday with a high of 77, more sun and highs in the low 80s for Sunday. And we'll continue to hover right around there on Monday and Tuesday with varying degrees of sun and partly to mostly cloudy skies. This trend looks to continue for another 10 days with continued dry conditions, sunny skies, and more 80-degree temps next Wednesday and Thursday. We're starting to forget how cold and rainy it was last weekend. Enjoy it while it's here. That's your 5-day weather forecast. Coach, a quick turn of events here at the end of half, an interception and then a fumble as a touchdown. What do you tell your team during halftime?
I tell you, that wasn't a very smart play. That's what I'm telling our team. They know that. It's just not a very smart play. That's not the type of football we play. We get an interception, in the end zone, we go down. I mean, it's that simple. We got to regroup. That's not a very good first half for us.
Kembe, you had some fouls in the early beginning of the game, but once you settled into the second quarter, everything seemed to be okay. But once you picked up your second foul, did you have to adjust your approach at all, or were you focused on staying aggressive?
Yeah, I mean, kind of on defense, it was really, my adjustment was be in passing lanes more and be less aggressive on ball. Still show my hands, but not be bumping with my chest and stuff like that. But offensively, the game was the same. Nothing really changed. Just kept being aggressive going downhill and taking what shots the defense gave me.
A bizarre and concerning trend is emerging in local schools, which students are reportedly inserting pencil lead into the USB and charging ports of their school-issued Chromebooks. While some believe it's a form of vandalism or a misguided prank, the damage is real and costly. Many school officials are now scrambling to respond as the issue spreads, potentially leaving hundreds of devices unusable in school districts throughout the nation. Crown Point's pressure has caused a lot of issues tonight. What was your message during halftime to further handle that defense pressure?
Well, obviously we had way too many turnovers. Obviously our inexperience, our youth is showing. Hopefully we can do a better job, because if we can't take care of the ball and they just steal it and lay it in, it's going to be a long, long night.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
Back to you guys. State lawmakers are considering yet another school cell phone ban, with some lawmakers saying this ban would be one of the strictest in the nation. If passed, Senate Bill 78 would prohibit students from using cell phones not only in classrooms, but also in hallways, lunchrooms, and study halls throughout the entire school day. Supporters of the bill argue the measure would reduce distractions and help students stay focused on learning. However, concerns are being raised about how quickly the legislation is advancing. State Senator Rodney Pohl, who represents portions of LaPorte and Porter counties, says the bill is moving too fast and raises questions about how schools would realistically enforce the policy, as well as how it could impact students and staff across the state. Last May, the CPCSC community passed the renewal of a referendum, important tax funding that contributes to the corporation's operating funds. Another secondary referendum is now being considered for this fall as corporation studies continue to assess the impact of Senate Bill 1. Reductions for the 2026-2027 school year are at this time not yet determined. Outside the CPCSC Administration Center, I'm Ariana Pantoja for CPTV News. At Valparaiso University, students in the College of Nursing and Health Professions are swapping clipboards for controllers while using immersive virtual reality to simulate high-pressure medical situations before they ever enter a hospital room. CPTV's Josie Mikrit toured the lab where tomorrow's healthcare professionals are utilizing this technology to experience high-pressure medical situations in the classroom. I guess this is the weather we're expecting this time of year, right? But wow, has it been cold. Here to tell us if we can expect more of the same is Bella Angaroni with our 5-day weather forecast.
That's it for today's show. Thanks for taking the time to tune in and for being with us.
Remember, you can view all of our past episodes on crowntownmedia.com.
You can also follow us on Twitter at CrownTMedia.
For Gabe Trevino, Bella Angaroni, and all of us here at CPTV, I'm Ariana Pantoja.
And I'm Raina Stevens.
Take care.